Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to all our esteemed guests, respected resource persons, researchers, faculty members, industry experts, and enthusiastic participants joining us from different parts of the country on this FDP. I, Anu, Assistant Professor at Ishan Educational Institutions, and it is my immense pleasure and privilege to serve as your host for this 4-day faculty development program. Today, we gather not merely to attend another professional development program, but to collectively explore how artificial intelligence is transforming the future of higher education and research. Over the next 4 days, we will engage with renowned experts who will share practical insights, innovative approaches, and emerging trends that will empower us to integrate AI effectively into our classrooms, research, and professional practice. On behalf of the entire Ishan family, I extend my gratitude to each one of you for being a part of this enriching journey. Your presence reflects your commitment to continuous professional development and excellence in education.
Now, I, Shifali Chitkara, would like to take a few moments to introduce our institution, Ishan Educational Institutions. Before we formally begin today's proceedings, allow me to introduce the institution behind this remarkable initiative. Established in 1994, Ishan Educational Institutions proudly holds the distinction of being one of the pioneering educational institutions in Greater Noida. For more than 3 decades, Ishan has remained committed to providing quality education, fostering innovation, promoting research, and nurturing socially responsible professionals. Today, the institution offers programs across management, commerce, law, pharmacy, education, medical sciences, and Ayurveda. With thousands of successful alumni spread across India and abroad, state of the art infrastructure, experienced faculty, modern laboratories, digital learning facilities, extensive libraries, and a vibrant academic culture, Ishan continues to inspire excellence in higher education. Organizing faculty development programs like this reflects our commitments towards lifelong learning, innovation, and academic leadership.
We are truly honored to have with us a distinguished leader whose vision, guidance, and leadership continue to inspire the educational community. It is now my great privilege and honor to invite CA Dr. Tushar Arya, CEO of Ishan Educational Institution, to address the gathering. Dr. Tushar Arya became one of the youngest CA in India at the remarkable age of 21. He holds an MBA from England and has been honored with several gold medals at both national and international level for his exceptional academic achievements. An accomplished chartered accountant, researcher, and visionary education leader, he brings over more than 14 years of rich experience in business strategy, finance, institutional planning, leadership, and higher education. Under his dynamic leadership, Ishan Educational Institute has achieved remarkable milestone through innovative educational initiative, research excellence, industry collaborations, international exposures, and impactful faculty development program. His vision continues to inspire educator and student to embrace excellence, innovation, and lifelong learning. Participant, please join me in extending a warm welcome to our respected CEO, CA Dr. Tushar Arya sir. May I request you, sir, to kindly address the gathering and share your valuable thought with us.
Thank you so much, Anu and Shifali. I warmly welcome all the participants, faculty members, speakers, and academicians from across the country. I'm truly glad to see over 300 participants who have registered from across India, investing their time and energy in this learning process. Growth and learning is a very continuous process, the very hallmark of a great teacher. And the day we stop our journey of upgrading and upscaling ourselves, we are surely headed towards the cul-de-sac. Ishan Educational Institutions has completed its 31 years of its journey in the field of education. From being the first educational institution in Greater Noida to becoming a multidisciplinary educational group, Ishan has always believed that institutions grow when teachers grow. With over 2,500 students on campus, with more than 50 doctors and 200 teaching and other members, Ishan has a strong team truly dedicated towards the mission of Shikshat Bharat, Sashakt Bharat. Recently, the hospital run by the Ishan Group, 100-bedded hospital, Ishan Ayurvedic Medical College and Research Center got its NABH accreditation and empanelment with over 50 national insurance companies. We currently having various national and international academic collaborations and conferences. Our research initiatives have allowed publishing 3 ISSN registered peer reviewed national journals in the field of management, law, and Ayurveda. These achievements have only been possible because of the hard work and outcome of our committed faculty members, and I congratulate every participant for choosing to upgrade their skills today in the FDP program organized by them. In today's world, degrees are not enough. The willingness to learn new technologies is what will distinguish from educators in the upcoming decade. Artificial intelligence is not here to replace the teachers. It will replace repetitive work, enabling teachers to spend more time in mentoring, inspiring, and building that critical thinking skill among the students. The role of teacher is changing from being a source of information to becoming a guide, a mentor, a researcher, and an innovator. AI can generate answers, but it is only a good teacher that can develop that character, values, and judgment among the students. We come from the age of dictionaries and encyclopedias, and then came Google. We had to adapt ourselves. We had to raise, we had to evolve our teaching methodologies, and we had to learn for this upcoming generation. And now technology is advancing at an unprecedented pace. The new AI, generative AI, made with ChatGPT or Claude, I say let's use this to our advantage. We don't want to use AI to write creative articles for us. We want AI to automate things that can help increase our productivity. To use this, I urge you all to use this FDP as a platform to explore AI driven research for global collaborations and practical AI tools. And I request you all not to leave just with a certificate, but with the ideas that you can implement in your own classrooms the very next day. I urge you to have those ideas of how you can deploy AI in your day-to-day teaching, in upgrading your skills, and in allowing your students to be prepared for what is out there tomorrow. Ishan is committed to creating future leaders, to creating future ready educators, but we need your support. We are here to provide you the opportunity, resources, platform, platform to learn, to evolve, to explore, and to rise. And we hope that you make the most of this journey with us. I wish everyone 4 days of meaningful learning, collaboration, and innovation, and express my confidence that today and in the next 4 days, together, we will shape the next generation of higher education in India and learn how to do so. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Your encouraging words have truly energized us and reinforced the importance of adapting ourselves to the rapidly evolving educational landscape. Your commitment towards academic excellence and innovation continues to inspire all of us. Before we proceed to our FDP on next generation academia, integrating AI into teaching and research, let me briefly share a few important instructions. Kindly remain logged into the session throughout the program. Attendance links will be shared during every session. Please so Before we proceed to our FDP on Next Generation Academia, integrating AI into teaching and research, let me briefly share a few important instructions. Kindly remain logged into the session throughout the program. Attendance links will be shared during every session. Please ensure that you fill them carefully using the same name and email ID that is used during registration. Active participation throughout the session is highly appreciated. Participants are requested to keep their microphones muted unless invited to speak. Please use the chat box for questions during the sessions. Feedback forms will be shared after every session. Your valuable feedback helps us improve and is essential for successful completion of the program. Participants are requested to join each session a few minutes before the scheduled time to ensure smooth proceedings. Thank you for your cooperation. It is now time to begin our technical sessions. I would like to invite Ms. Akansha to introduce our esteemed first resource person. Over to you, Ms. Akansha.
The glimpse of Ishan.
Good afternoon, everyone. We will be starting the session at 1:30 p.m. Okay. Good afternoon, respected dignitaries, esteemed faculty members, researchers, and participants. On behalf of Ishan Educational Institution, it is my privilege to welcome you all to today's session of our Faculty Development Program. Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming the landscape of higher education while it offers remarkable opportunities for innovation in teaching, learning, and research. It also raises important questions regarding ethics, responsibility, transparency, and accountability. To guide us through these crucial issues, we are truly privileged to have with us an eminent expert who brings both professional excellence and practical experience in the field of artificial intelligence. It is my honor to introduce our distinguished resource person for today's session, CA Pradeep Tayal, sir. See, Pradeep Tayal sir is a fellow chartered accountant and founder of Arya and Associates and has been in professional practice since 2004 with more than 22 years of extensive experience in audit, compliance, and financially advisory. He is also diploma in information systems audit qualified and insolvency professional and holds the AICA level 2 certification in artificial intelligence for chartered accountancy from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. What truly distinguishes him is his pioneering work in integrating artificial intelligence into professional practice. Since 2023, he has and implemented AI driven workflows within his own chartered accountancy firm, demonstrating how AI can be used responsibly in a highly regulated profession. His innovative AI powered solution Notice AI earned national recognition as a finalist in the National Startup Award 5.0 under the FinTech Revolution Catalyst category by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Government of India. Additionally, his work secured place among the top 3 entries at the KSCAA Tools competition in Bengaluru. Apart from being a successful practitioner, C. Pradeep Tayal sir is a passionate educator and AI faculty who regularly trains chartered accountants, professionals, and students on prompt engineering, ethical AI adoption, AI governance, and practical implementation of AI tools in professional environment. His insights are rooted not merely in theory but in real world experience, making his perspective especially valuable for educators navigating the evolving role of AI in higher education. Today's session, titled Ethical and Responsible Use of AI in Higher Education Challenges, Opportunities, and Best Practices, promises to provide us with meaningful insights into the responsible integration of AI in academic institutions while addressing critical concerns related to ethics, privacy, accountability, and best practices. I extend a very warm welcome to our esteemed speaker and express our sincere gratitude for graciously accepting our invitation and sharing your valuable expertise with us. Dear participants, please join me in giving a warm virtual welcome to our distinguished speaker, CA Pradeep Tayal sir. Sir, we are honored to have you with us. The virtual platform is now yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much for such a warm welcome. Thank you so much, Ishan Institutions, for inviting me as a faculty for today's session. And today's session is very much relevant for all spheres of artificial intelligence because artificial intelligence is being used nowadays in every domain, being it a CA or engineering, medical profession, all domains now use artificial intelligence very extensively. But we all don't know how to use it responsibly. Let me share my screen first. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So my introduction has been given by the organizers. Let's begin with a true story. A lawyer was in a pressure of last days of submitting their version in the court regarding some case. So he used artificial intelligence for incorporating and identifying some case laws which are existing, and then artificial intelligence gave him the four case laws which were all hallucinated. Can you believe the case laws he asked AI to give for his support were hallucinated? And when he asked the artificial intelligence whether the cases were verified, the AI confidently said that the cases were verified and none of them existing. And can you see how confident AI was in giving those case laws? Barely 3 weeks ago, Supreme Court has just ruled that whenever there is any AI fabricated case law is found to be present in any argument, it will be treated as a professional misconduct. It has been held by Supreme Court on 2nd of July, recently, in this month only. So we can see that this is not a distant risk. The risk is here, and now it is well documented. So I'm glad that you are attending a session which talks about the risk involved while using artificial intelligence. As organizers introduced me, I come from a profession that is already bound by the ethical code of conduct. We have to abide by those in our daily routine. We have to follow some principles, and then we can just uh, do our routine work. What are those? We are a regulated profession because I'm a chartered accountant, and we sign opinions. We usual our workflows. So I personally carry a personal liability when work is wrong, because no one will take the responsibility, or no one will accept it except me, that I made a mistake, because I relied on the artificial intelligence in my work. So AI is not going to accept any liability. Who will accept? Only I will accept. So these are the three, we can say, uh, uh, pointers which we have to abide by in our team. And the information of the client, we have to keep it confidential because we can't disclose client's information to any third party. As our profession is regulated now, education is no exception. Higher education is now a regulated, accountable profession too. And the questions which my profession is answering since last so many years, since decades, now have to be answered by every profession, which includes education also. Because of use of technology, there are several changes, the way we work, the way we assess, the way we write the things, and the way we deal with the data has changed very fastly these days. So we have to think about that, and we have to see how can we regulate the things, how should we deal with the things, that so that there is no such breach of ethics, and there is no such breach of confidentiality of the data. So like my profession, every profession who is using AI must answer these questions. Which are these three questions? First, we have to ask ourselves, because whatever may be the profession, we deal with the data, and the data may be confidential, and data may be that the information may be a privileged information. In our profession, it is a client data. In your profession or in education, it can be said to be a student record, any unpublished research. What I put into the prompt, I have to answer one thing, that whether and I can put that information into the prompt. I hope everyone must be knowing the prompt, because everyone is using the AI very, very aggressively these days. So prompt is the instruction or the query we ask AI to answer. And whether we can put any confidential or privileged information relating to the person to whom we are providing any service, or with whom data we are dealing, whether we can feed it in with the AI. And then if anything goes wrong, who will be the responsible? Do you think AI can be sued, or AI can be punished or held responsible? No, I don't think so, because there there must be some human who has used it and who should take the responsibility, who should be held accountable. Third one is, must I disclose that I used it? It means the question is whether I should disclose that I have used artificial intelligence for uh, having the output I am presenting in a judgment, in a paper, or grade assessment assignment. So these are the three questions, burning questions, we have to answer before using AI. That is confidentiality, whether how much the data is confidential, who will be accountable if anything goes wrong, and whether I am disclosing that I have used technology or artificial intelligence for providing this output. So you just hold on these three words, because the session we are in will answer these questions precisely. Now let's do a first reality check. Do you think AI can't make mistakes? It can. And do you know how AI works? AI works, it is a generative AI, and let me tell you the algorithm behind it. Its work is based on the past training data. AI is trained first on the historic data, and on that basis, it learns some patterns. On that patterns basis, it predicts the output of the present situation or the present query the user is giving. So, and the past data may be right or may be wrong. Past historical data on which it has been trained, we can't say that it is 100% accurate. So, what AI output can have is what the AI's output is characterized is it hallucinates. You all must have heard about the word hallucination. Hallucination is something discovering its own because it has been trained to devise different patterns, come out with the different permutation and combinations. So, and that is the quality which is required in artificial intelligence because most of the use cases are such that we need this facility because we need creativeness, we need generativeness of the AI. Because of that only, we have different alternatives, different options of the output. But this hallucinations sometimes makes bad impact also because in law domain where we use accurate judgments and accurate statements, it can invent citations on its permutation and combinations. It can invent statistics, and the main thing is it states this all with total confidence. I have been using AI since last 2 3 years, and I have felt that whenever I ask anything to AI, it states it gives the outputs with total confidence. Then I have to cross question it. Then I have to verify, and I have to ask it to verify. Then sometimes it gives the answer other way, and it greatly undermines its reliability most of the times. So using AI is very good, but we have to use it responsibly. And one of the characteristics of AI output is it is non-understanding. AI has no human mind or it cannot think like a human. How it works is, as I said, it generates patterns on the basis of its past training data. It has no concept of its own. It has no consign to decide whether something is wrong or right. It just creates what comes next. The text, what come next. That is a technical separate topic, how AI works. So we are not here to discuss more detail about that, but we have to understand how it works. And again, when the data is on which it is trained, it is if it is biased, its output will also be biased. We will see in the ensuing slides how bias comes in the data. We'll discuss it later on in the session. And one of the characteristic is it cannot take any responsibility because it is a technology. It is a tool in the hands of the users. So that some human has to take the responsibility. I'll give you two examples where we saw a very large, massive impact of artificial intelligence. In 2010, US Dow Jones index dipped around 1,000 points. You must be knowing the share market index. So likewise, in US, it is US Dow Jones index. And within 36 minutes, the market was wiped off with the $1 trillion of dollars. How it happened? One of the selling trade was triggered automatically through autonomous agent. And in the selling panic, other trades also executed. And whenever there is more selling, the rates come down and the value of the investors, or you can say the investment of the investor, eroded in minutes. However, it recovered within an hour, but you can see the impact of technology. Similarly, autonomous vehicles in Arizona, one event happened that a autonomous vehicle crashed into a human being. So how it happened, where the things went wrong, we'll see in the ensuing slides. And I'm not here to just give you the fear that AI is dangerous. No, AI is helpful also. AI augments our work also. It can help to a great extent in our daily routines and achieving more things. So I'll talk about the opportunities also. And why this matters is because AI is not something that we should avoid using or we should abstain from using. It must be used, but responsibly. So if we talk on positive side, we can see that AI is already reshaping the teaching. How? With the help of AI, approximately 6 hours per week are being saved by teachers in their per week workflow. Means you can say they are reclaiming their whole day with the use of AI. And these are not the bare these are the facts which have been researched and which have been polled by some established organization. Gallup is the American organization which does research on these types of areas. Similarly, Higher Education Policy Institute of UK has come out with the data that they conducted a survey and they are saying that 90% of 5% of the students now use AI in their studies. This is a recent 2026 study, and 88% of the students are using AI in their assessments. So we can say the question is no longer whether students and faculties or teachers are using AI. They are already doing, because we all know that we are already using AI. But the question which comes up is whether we are using it responsibly. I think nobody cares about whether we are using it responsibly or not. Several incidents have taken place and have come to our knowledge also that due to AI use, that happened, some damage happened, or some penalties imposed. So these are the area where AI genuinely helps in teaching. So you can see in teaching, it can draft your plans, it can draft your worksheets. If you want question banks on the basis of some chapters or some content, it can draft in seconds. And if you wish, I can show you the workflow also at the end of the session, because this is not the key topic being discussed today, but I have workflow designed for that also. I have designed automation for my children's assessments in the school, their chapters. I have trained AI on the basis of their chapters, and then I design or I draft assessments for them to practice at home. I can show you that. It AI can you can use AI for different languages. Same content can be generated in different languages by the AI. This way, AI can reduce your working uh, as an assistant and reduce your working efforts you were doing earlier, and then it can free up the time. In research, it can sort out the literature, summarize the literature. If you have 50, 60, or hundreds of articles or books, it can extract the relevant data or relevant phrases, paragraphs, chapters from that. So if it were not there, you would have ended up spending hours or days on reading all the articles. But with the help of artificial intelligence, you can just extract the relevant parts only and summarize. You can draft and refine your writing. Data analysis can be done with the help of AI. Access has been increased to a great extent because earlier when I wanted to research on any topic, I had to source the material from different sources, go to libraries or go to some places or source from the circle, friends, teachers. But now with the help of AI, you can say that, okay, I've added that to the reminder list. Just a minute. You can say that it is being extracted now by the AI itself through the web searches. It, as earlier said, supports multilingual learners, and personalized feedback can be had by the AI on the basis of your preferences. So UNESCO has also set the principle that AI should augment the educators but never replace them. Always remember that judgment remains with us. No one can replace our judgment. No one can replace our thinking process. What AI can do is it should augment us. It should augment our capabilities. It should work as an assistant for us. Now we come to the challenges. A shared vocabulary, the FATEC framework. What are these challenges? Challenges means these are not threats, these are not fearful words, these are the caution words, I must say. These are the 5 principles which must be kept in mind, which must be practiced while using AI to make it ethical AI use. What are those? We'll see all these in detail in ensuing slides. What are those? Fairness means it should operate without any bias or discrimination. Accountability, a human always owns the outcome. Transparency, be open, means it should be explainable, be able to say why the AI decides as it did, and uh, uh, obviously privacy. It should protect the confidential, sensitive information belonging to anyone. Now let's talk about the fairness. So AI, as I earlier said, that AI has been trained on past historical data. And that past historical data can have biasness. I just give you an example. In US, there is a system compass which flags the possibility of a person being a culprit or a person doing the crime. So that data was trained in a way that because past data showed the trend that uh, most of the times black people there were found to be culprits. So when the AI was trained on that data and any new case AI for finding the possibilities of a person being a culprit, it was biased. Why? Because it flagged black people twice the white ones. Similarly, Google Photos also labeled photographs of black people as gorillas. And when someone flagged it, fix they fixed by removing that identification, and they couldn't fix the pattern, they couldn't fix the way the AI was responding. And it took many years. It's the incident of 2015. Similarly, hiring and lending models are trained on historical decision. They can have certain biasness regarding some uh, people favoring the profiles, and to some they may have bias. In higher education, if we talk about education, So admission process and grading algorithms are designed on the basis of past data. And there may be situations where, if we talk about an example of biasness in higher education, we can say, for example, assume a an university has trained its admission process with the help of AI. It is using AI for admission process, and it has trained on the basis of past 10 years data. And their past 10 years data tell that the urban urban students with certain grades uh, were given more admissions due to some reason, or the person coming to organization were the urban people only. Now, whenever any rural or any with different caste and creed, any person comes, any student comes for admission, the AI may have the bias regarding that. And if two students are of equal standing, it may bias towards the student coming from urban areas. Hope you are getting my point. But in constitution, we talk about our constitution, Indian constitution talk about equality and non-discrimination, and it is binding on every field. But see, and we are leaving decisions to it. Biasness has crept into it. And unless we identify, we vouch for the results being generated, output being generated by AI, we can't say that it is not biased. So a biased algorithm is not a technical bug. Now it is a rights problem, because how will we explain a student why he was not given admission as compared to the other? When we have left everything to AI, how will we answer this question? So we can say that we must keep in mind that the AI can be biased. We have to jump into the role of vouching its output and then deciding on the basis of our judgment. Accountability. You see, AI is not only about accuracy, these are about values also. As you can see here, uh, uh, a bogie is coming, a trolley is coming, and it will hit the five people standing on the track. Now, I want your judgment regarding this. And this bogie will run over the five people, and you are the person standing at the lever. Here is the lever. You can pull this lever, and if you pull this lever, the train bogie will divert to the trolley will divert to the this single person. So whether you will pull the lever, I want your votes or your comments on this. It will be better if you comment in the chat box whether you will pull the lever or not. Yes. Okay. Chat is not enabled. Yes. Advocate Suraj Sridhar is saying that pull the lever. Anyone else? Chat, 6 chats are there. Yes. 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 Yes, pull the lever. Nice. All are saying that yes, we must pull the lever. Okay. So now let's come to the screen again. Hope my screen is still visible. Now see, if you pull the lever, you have acted in a certain way. And if you don't pull, then you have abstained from doing anything. We can say you have abstained from doing anything. Means this is called classical trolley dilemma. Do nothing, the trolley continues and kills five people. And if we pull the lever, it diverts and kills only one. And everyone is saying that yes, we should pull the lever. Now, let me give a twist to that. Think of it like the single person standing there is one of our family person or one of our friend, very much known to us, one of our near and dear. Now tell me whether your decision will be same. Anyone? You can say, now the decision of Mr. Sridhar has changed. Okay, you are saying no means every life is important. No means what should I infer as no? No means you will not pull the lever. No, it may be change. No, the lowerings of the speed and any other option is not available. You have just to decide. You have just to decide whether to pull the lever or not pull. Just two options are there. Yes, emotionally it will change, but you have to decide. You have to give me yes or no. Okay, let's come to the slide again and see it. So here we have mixed opinion whether we should pull the lever or not. When it was not, the single person was not or known, we were all, most of us were of the view that we should pull the lever because it is better to sacrifice one life against the five ones. Okay. Okay. Now see, there are two philosophies. These are entirely different philosophies. If we pull the lever, it is called utilitarian philosophy. And in this, you are judging by consequences. Means you are seeing that the consequence of pulling the lever will be far less severe than the if leaving it as it is. One death is better than five. So we should maximize. And if we don't, this approach is called deontological. And we can say that some acts are wrong in themselves. Actively causing a death makes you the agent of it. Means here the thought process is if you pull the lever, you are becoming the culprit, you are causing the someone to death. Otherwise, you were standing apart and you were doing nothing. And what was happening, you was just the watcher. So we may have both type of opinions, and in a twist, you all said that if the single person is our known or our family friend or relative, then we may not pull the lever. Means in that case, we are ready to sacrifice the lives of five. Now one more twist. Now imagine you are there is no lever there, and you have a fat person line side by the lines, and you can physically push that large person and thus stop the trolley. Now what will you do? We are not going that far that whether it will affect the people who are sitting inside, because most of the times the people sitting inside will be safe. So now tell me, is it making any difference that if you have the option to push the fat person on the track and the train will stop thereby, and then you will be able to save the lives of five people? We can push the healthy person and manage the situation. Interesting. So again, we are of the thought that we should act something, and by acting, we can save the life of 5 people. By and large, we are saying that. So this is one of the example I want to convey is the idea I want to convey is there are such dilemmas, there are certain dilemmas in our practical life, or you can say if we deal with AI. So how to train that model or how to train AI? How should it act in situations like this? Means if AI has to make choice from two outcomes, which outcome it should adopt? Now let me tell you one more interesting exercise. So I am just opening just a minute. Now my browser is visible. Is my browser visible now?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So there is an exercise regarding same decision making. You have to judge. This is a moral machine, and the this has been designed by one of the organization in US 50, 60 years back. And this exercise was to judge, to decide how people think about the how people decide in different situations. So they were using this exercise for how should a self-driving car do? What should a self-driving car do? Now see, there are two situations. If you can see, I am showing the description. You have two options. First of all, let me tell you that this is a sudden brake failure in the car. And as you can see, no one is sitting. But the car will either collide in the people crossing or in the animals crossing. So in this case, there will be death of one man, two babies, one male executive and one boy. And in this case, a self-ride, this car will cause the death of four cats and one dog. Now again, can I have the poll? Which one should I choose? Should I show you the screen? Yes. Can I have the poll in this? Which one I should choose? You can tell verbally also by unmuting yourself. Save people to save people. Okay, I'm just saving the people. So I have decided to kill animals. Now you must be able to see and uh, where you see the skeleton, if you want, I can show the description. Where you see the skeleton, these will be the deaths. In this case, five uh, beings, one elderly woman, one homeless person, cat, dog, female doctor. And here, one elderly woman. Surely, I think everyone will go with this. Okay. Now see. So in this case, there are two large women will be dead. And in this case, two large men will be dead. Now see. Can you please write in the chat, what should I do? Toss the coin. Option B, save woman. Dr. Deepa is saying save woman. And what about Mr. Sridhar? he will be saying save men. Kindly fix the brakes. There is no such option, sir. Save anyone. Option A, save men. Both see few minutes. Means both see few minutes. Okay, there is a mixed response. I think men are saying for saving men and women are saying for saving women. So let's say women. Okay. Because I can't do both. I have to choose one. Sorry, sorry. I probably I kill women. Sorry. In this case, one girl sitting in the car, and here one elderly woman going through the crossing the road. Now, save girl. Can you give the reason also? Save elderly. Okay. Can you give the reason also? If I were to choose one of them, then I would save girl. It is my opinion. It may be right or wrong because we are not judging whether what is right or wrong. Killing anyone is anyway wrong. But I have to decide. So I will choose this. Again, this is because we have to choose anyone. We are not given the option that we can save all. So here it will be elderly woman, female athlete. 4 female are in risk. And here one elderly woman, female athlete, female executive sitting in the car. Means here what is the difference is the person sitting in the car in risk because they will collide with the barricade. And here they will the car will run over the. So this is again different situation. Can't we tell grandma to wait, spend 80% of life, so I will save girl. Okay. This is one reasoning, and this may be right. This is right. So again, we are not what the legitimacy of the decision, we are not judging that. We are just seeing that which option will be taken by us. So if I choose, for example, this one, similarly, same situation. So you can see 3 women, 3 elderly women, 3 elderly women. So this exercise will run 1 elderly man, 1 boy, 1 woman. Here is 1 elderly, 1 boy, woman. Here these are 4 people. Then we'll kill 3. Here you can see 1 female athlete, 2 male athlete, 1 woman, 1 man, 1 large male. 3 people. Here also 3 people. So just I want to convey is save the pedestrians. This is moral dilemma with no universally accepted answer. Yes, you're right. All because it is self-driven car will automatically stop because of AI feature. No, here it is not the option. I'm just asking anyone out of the 2. So let's complete the exercise because all questions are like this only. And I want to show you the results. I think you must have imbibed the idea what I'm trying to convey. So I have taken certain choices. Okay. Now you see the screen now is showing, would you like to help us better understand your judgment? Yes. And you can see it is showing what was the aim of the study. The aim of the study is to understand individual judgment about the difficulty in individual judgments difficult moral dilemmas, because these were all dilemmas that involve life or death of situations. Procedure and content of the study is sequence of scenarios to see how you decide in different situations. And this study is a research project of Max Planck Institute for Human Development. And they are disclosing everything here. That the main thing to observe here is that they are disclosing everything, because they how they will use this data, why they are collecting this data, what is the purpose, and who can be the audience, how many times can you take this exercise, all that. What will happen? No personal data will be recorded. We use your IP address to determine the country or another regional level from which you access the site. If you choose to participate in the optional survey, we'll link information about your age, gender, etc. and all this. So you can see participation is voluntary. Participation is voluntary. You may withdraw from the study at any time. In between also, how much time it will take, how much dilemmas it can have, means you can see that all the declarations regarding how the data will be used, how we store the data, for which time the data will be stored, all is given here. So you can see so the uncomfortable mirror is aggregated results may reveal we collectively prefer something over other. Now you see the results also. Okay. And you can see when we see the result screen, most saved characters are the younger ones. Most killed characters were these. Saving more lives does not matter. Matters for us. You means I am standing here. Protecting passengers, I am standing here. Matters a lot. I have most of the time protected the passengers. These signals matters for us. Yes, matters a lot. Avoiding intervention matters a lot. Others means the general average survey where it is standing and where are you standing. You can just see. Others, your gender preference, you are preferring males. Species preference, you are preferring humans over the animals. Age preference is almost same with others. Fitness preference, social value preference means you have saved more fit people than large people, and social value preference, you have given higher social value. So you can see in different situation how you react and how you respond to situations has been depicted here. And you have seen that if all of us couldn't agree because someone said option A and another one said option B. So uh, how can we say that the encoder, the person who is designing or training AI, how should he do? How should he do the justification? How should one company's engineers code right answer for everyone? Do you think it is possible? Can you write it in the chat? Is it possible? I don't think so. It is not possible. So I just show you the judgment and what are the challenges, what are the limitations of artificial intelligence. The machine cannot answer for itself, someone must. Accountability. So if any machine has given wrong output, who should be held responsible? Now another exercise is for you. The person who developed, the developer who trained and coded the system, the deployer means the person or the organization who deployed the systems, and the user, the person who relied upon the outcome. Now, can you just poll in the chat who should be responsible? Only one answer, Shreya, software designer, developer. Okay, okay. This is again a dilemma because if we now see the answer from a reputed company, Volvo, in a automobile segment, Volvo announced that it would accept full liability for its self-driving cars. It did something the algorithm never could. And do you think the Volvo had designed their algorithm? May or may not be. But the main thing is it put a human man name behind the machine's decision. Someone human should be behind the outcome of the artificial intelligence. But which human, whether the developer, deployer, or the user, as per my opinion, if I would have to decide, I would decide the deployer because the organization who is deploying has to take the responsibility because on the basis of his commitment or you can say deployment, the user will be using, and if any wrong happens, then user will have claim against the deployer. However, the deployer can enter to agreement with the developer and reclaim the things. So these were all dilemmas which we have to decide and we have to be aware of while using AI. Now, out of the FATF, now T, transparency is there. Undisclosed AI use is the quiet integrity problem. Means how AI has generated the output. If we don't know that, so can we say that it has been transparent? No, we can't say. It is nothing, just simply the honesty about the tool, whether the tool has been honest in generating the output. It is the cheapest ethical safeguard and the most often skipped because we never care about the transparency, whether the tool was transparent or not. For a teacher, transparency means teachers can use AI to build an assessment, but do the students know how they are being evaluated? Here, transparency comes. A researcher can use the AI to draft a paper, but nowadays, journals, newspapers require that you have to disclose whether you have used AI for not or not. A student can use AI to write an essay, and it has to disclose. Is it disclosed whether the student is disclosing whether he has used AI or not? The rule of thumb which should be if the rule of thumb which should be followed is it if disclosing your AI use would change how the work is judged, you were obliged to disclose it. Means we must disclose we have used AI, we must be transparent, and particularly when the use of AI will change the way your work will be judged, you must disclose it. Another principle is explainability. So AI systems have billions of parameters through which they work. And we never know how they have come to a decision or how they have generated the output. We know the technology, we can assess, we can have a vague idea about how it is doing, but in billions of parameters, we can never claim what parameters were triggered and what characteristics were evaluated and how the AI has generated the output. And most of the AI systems cannot explain how they reached an output because reasoning is buried. for a decision that affects a person, a grade, admission, or a loan or verdict. Means in education field, if we talk about the grading and admission process, if we can't explain why it is a no, why it has not, why the output is in a particular way, or why it is with a no to any student, and if it can't be explained now, then it is an unjust no. It is not justified. So the AI should be explainable, means we must be able to explain how and why it came to this decision. And why it matters here is natural justice, because these are fundamental principles of life uh, enacted by the Constitution. A student who has been denied by an algorithm, he always has a right to know why. So the same principles as a fair principle applies here also. He must be able to know why a certain outcome has been uh, given in his case. And now Digital Personal Data Protection Act has been enacted. So the data principles, the data owners must be able to know how in through which steps their data has been processed. Data principals are the person who are the owner of the data and who hand over their data to a AI processor or AI provider for processing. Similarly, it should be academic defensibility. If you can't explain AI assisted evaluation, you can't defend it two-way. Means if you can't explain how AI has worked, it is not acceptable. Privacy. What you type in a prompt is sent to artificial intelligence, means the third party who is the provider of artificial intelligence. 2-3 years back, when AI was new, you can say, Samsung allowed its employees to use artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, for their betterment of work or for their debugging or something, resolving their issues. And what their engineers did is they pasted their confidential source code into ChatGPT for debugging. They didn't have any malafide intention in their mind. But do you think the code didn't leak? Samsung's confidential source code, which is their proprietary, which is the all they have, which is their trade secret, you can say. And engineers just to debug, because there may be some bug in their code, but for debugging, they pasted the entire code in ChatGPT to and asked given the prompt that you just debug it. So their trade secrets were leaked in third-party system. Samsung ultimately had to ban these tools internally. Similarly, in academics, there are certain students' records having their personal information, exam scripts, and their unpublished research, personal data is of the students, of minors. Can we paste it into a public AI tool? No, because Digital Personal Data Protection Act has come into force. We'll learn later in this session, and we can't do that. The law is now real, as I said, and DPDP Act was there in 2023, and DPDP rules have been notified. India's Digital Personal Data Protection Framework is fully notified now and in operation. Any breach of data has to be reported within 72 hours, and special protection has been given in the act for the children's data. And what are the penalties? You can't imagine. The penalties are just up to 250 crores. Up to 250 crores means it will depend upon the severity of the breach, the harm, and the loss incurred by the affected party. So, can you say now a careless prompt can be a statutory violation? Now, see it seriously because we all are using ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, and we are We are freely entering any prompt, giving any information. We must be disclosing sensitive private information in the uh, models. After enactment of the act, can you say we can do that? All of we must be doing, must be breaching these in our day-to-day working with the AI. Have you courage to accept it here? I just want to see. Have you courage to accept it here that you must have, yeah, you may have breached sometimes the confidentiality or the ethics you have violated the ethics which we are discussing here? No. Okay. Only one answer? Yes, Mr. Sridhar. Clapping for Mr. Sridhar. Yes. Bhumika. Yes. So clapping for those who are accepting, because it also needs a great courage to accept on a public platform that we have reached. And I think after this, you will think twice while entering any such prompt which may have any violation regarding this ethical use of AI. Now, in the classroom, in the lab, in the examination, which are relevant for our domain, I discuss with you one more case that was at B.R. Ambedkar Bihar University. Hope you all of must have knowledge about this. At that university, 40%, over 40% of the content was found to be AI generated and copied without attribution. And what it resulted? It resulted in just rejecting those thesis, rewriting, asking the students, researchers to rewrite, and reputations were also dented and careers were delayed. Can you see how AI, use of AI impacted? But now it doesn't mean that we must all must have the best tools which can detect the use of AI. The idea is not that, because it is a blind race which you can't win. The users of AI will use AI, and to which extent you never know. And you go on designing and adopting the tools which can catch the use of AI. It is an endless race. It is something we can't control. So what can we control is, I will tell you, UGC plagiarism regulations 2018 are there, which are now saying that unacknowledged AI text is now treated as plagiarism. Means with the advent of technology, laws are also changing. Regulators are also keeping a watch on this. Institutions are setting their own caps. They have flagged AI content about 20% for explanation or revision. Means everyone knows that. Yes, Mr. Vinod. Yes, Mr. Vinod, can we? Okay, you want to ask something? Please ask. Vinod, Mr. Vinod, unmute yourself if you want to. Okay. Yes, yes, there may not be any regulation till now, but I am saying that any unacknowledged text is treated as plagiarism.
Sir, I only wanted to tell you that the regulations of 2018 regarding academic integrity, they don't talk about anything about AI. And there's a misconception among the faculty. I don't know where this thing has come that UGC has taken out some guidelines regarding what is to be used in the thesis in AI.
Okay.
So yeah, there is no such notification or circular by UGC.
Okay. So this again maybe because there is a misconception among the faculties, right? Okay, I will just verify it and then come back to you. Sure. Thank you, Mr. Vinod. So we can't run in the race which is very blind. So what we can do is, and the publishers all over the world have now accepted. Once the ChatGPT was new, it was claimed as a co-author of the things also at some places. But World Journal have now come to a consensus that can AI be an author? So they collectively say that it may be a fun but not an author. These are some of the major publishers which I have named here, and they say these three statements. AI cannot be an authorship because authorship needs accountability, and which only a human can bear. And human always stays responsible. We can't hold AI to be responsible. It can be AI can be a helper only. And use of AI must be disclosed. As I discussed in the FATEP also, we must disclose that we have used AI because everyone knows and easily detectable whether AI has been used or not. So how we can change our method of doing the things so that because we have to ensure the quality of the researchers or you can say students, and if they have completed their assignments with the help of AI, how can we judge whether they have learned or not? So we can just do it by changing our method of judging or assessment. If there is an assignment which can be completed by AI in seconds, so we can say that the problem may be the assignment also because you think like just when the calculators came, use of calculators started in the classrooms. So mathematic teachers thought it like that now it is very difficult to judge the abilities of the students. But now, then some clever institutions, you can say, allowed the way they assess. They change the way of asking the questions in the examinations. Similarly, AI is a technology, and when we all know that AI is there and everyone is using this, so why can't we change the way of assessment? The things which can be easily gamed by AI is generic writing essays, summarizing content, or uh, uh, drafting submissions. But in assessment, as a teacher or as an educationist, we can change our way of assessment. We can ask the questions regarding the reasoning in the vivas, how the process has been followed, a particular outcome has come, what steps have been followed. If we can give the assessment straight away like that also, that you can use AI, then you critique its output. We can be done by the student only who has knowledge of the subject. Now the rules which we can which have been enacted globally regarding AI and ethics, and these are in the process of building right now. So there are three layers which I would like to discuss is there are global principles regarding AI, Indian principles, and the law, binding law of India. Organization of Economic and Development Cooperation, AI principles have been published in 2019. Then UNESCO recommendation on AI ethics 2021. Generative AI in education guidance was published in 2023. And now the EU AI Act, the first binding act, has come, which talks about the risk-based AI law. And that law has addresses education domain also. I am having a handout on this. I will share with the organizers who can share it with you. So in India also, Niti Aayog is the first who issued a paper on responsible AI for all in 2021, which had 7 principles. And those principles were taken from the Constitution of India, because Constitution of India talks about the fundamental rights. And AI is also something which must ensure fundamental rights, privacy, equality, transparency, all that. And then after that, India AI governance guidelines, MeitY, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, issued AI governance guidelines in November 2025. And it has issued 7 sutras for that, which we'll be discussing in the next slide. And these are the principles. And now India has enacted the binding law also, that is Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 and Digital Personal Data Protection Rules 2025 have also been notified. Earlier, the act was enacted and it was said that it will come into force once the rules are enacted. Now the rules have also been notified. And other relevant acts are Copyright Act, IT Act and Rules, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam, which are now operational since 1st July 2024. There are certain Supreme Court and High Court rulings on AI misuse also. As I earlier said that recently, Supreme Court on 2nd July said that use of hallucinated case laws, AI generated case laws, which do not exist, will be treated as a professional misconduct. So it is not a advisory, it is a warning now. So these are the principles which have been enacted, which have been governing guidelines, which have been enacted by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. These are the 7 sutras. Trust is the foundation, means trust must be maintained. People first, innovation over restraint, fairness and equity, accountability, understandable by design, safety, resilience, and sustainability. And see, no blanket AI law other than blanket AI law has been, because government has left to the different regulators, RBI, SEBI, UGC, because they govern their own domains, and AI law may be different for different domains as per the things existing in those domains. So and wherever possible, current legislation may be used. So it has ensured that every regulator design its own AI law. Digital data protection rules have been notified. So now compliance is required. And as I said, that the penalties may go up to 250 crores, huge penalties, depending upon the severity of the breach. Consent and purpose. These are the some main highlights of this DPDP Act, which I have presented in a very brief manner. It requires the consent of the person whose data is to be processed. and disclosing the purpose for which data is to be processed. And the consent is anytime withdrawable. The person giving the consent for processing the data can withdraw it anytime. Children's data children's under the age of 18, that data has to be treated as most sensitive. So there are separate precautions to be taken regarding those data. And any breach has to be notified within 72 hours. So you can see that our Indian AI governance guidelines also emphasize on the trust and the importance of people, and innovation must be kept in front, and fairness and equity, accountability. Some of these are the fundamental rights. The courts have already ruling, as I earlier said, and now the time has come that we have to take it seriously. We can't leave it to the future. We have to abide by these principles, and we have to see whether we are using AI ethically or not. Supreme Court of India said on 2nd July, citing AI fabricated case law is professional misconduct. High courts have also uh, penalized the errants. First, judicial AI policies barring case data from public AI tools. Bombay and Andhra Pradesh High Court costs were imposed. Income Tax Appellate Tribunal Bengaluru in a recent case, a tax order was uh, issued on the basis of hallucinated judgment, which it was recalled. So globally, EU Act obligation for high-risk AI have been enacted, and which include the AI used in education also. And these are going to take effect on 2nd of August, means you can say 11 days from now. So based on all what we have discussed regarding ethics and responsible use of AI, I think there must be 4 habits, or you can say 4 key takeaways, which we should ensure are 4H. You must remember this 4H rule. Human means AI will work as in your assistant only. It will draft. The decision, the judgment, checking remains with the human always, and must remain with the human always. If you accepting the output generated by AI as it is, then you are in a way you have given away your judgment to the AI. You have outsourced your judgment to the AI, which should never happen. And we must be honest enough, as I saw in the chat also, that we have breached the ethical uh, concerns while using AI. So we must be honest, and we must disclose in our AI use that we have used AI. Whenever you draft any papers on it, teaching materials or assessments, so you have to disclose honestly the use of AI. And no personal confidential data should be used or should be given to AI through prompts. I would like you all to decide from today itself that in prompts you will not use any sensitive information relating to any person, because whenever you give it to AI, it goes in the public domain and you don't have control after that. And as I said, Digital Personal Data Protection Act is there now. It has been enacted. You never know, the things will come back and you will not be able to justify that. As a user of AI since last 2 3 years, I personally came across a situation where I had divulged some personal information, and then after a certain time, the same facts and same figures were presented by AI to me. And I was very surprised to see that these are the same facts and figures which once I had given. I have personally experienced that. And now it is not just a warning thing. Now it is a act which can result into penalties. Audit output for bias before acting. Because these both come under the harm aware pointer. So we must audit the output whether it is biased or not. Biasness we discussed earlier in the slides. So we have to audit that. And someone must be held accountable for the use of AI, or you can say for the output. Tool can be held responsible. You can say that the main outcome from today's session you can have is we can't say the AI did it. These four words, we can't say the AI did it. This line tells the whole story. When you imbibe in your heart that you can't say the AI did it, you will use it responsibly by taking care of all the ethical concerns. So, and as far as we discuss about the institutions, every institution need a one-page AI use policy. If you want, I can give you the one pager to start with, and you can draft your own also as an organization. Every organization must have a AI use policy. And in the last, I will say that this is one thing we all must remember, that the tool is new, but the questions are same. You remember the confidentiality, accountability, and disclosure I discussed in the first slide, which are the three questions confronting us. And now every profession is confronted with these questions. So every regulated profession has to answer these questions. And I think uh, in the session, you uh, must have had a fair idea about how we can ensure that. And you will decide the answer for that. So I will say that we don't have to fear AI. We have to use it. So use AI boldly, but use it honestly, and never let it sign your name for you. Means you have to be the judge. You have to audit the output, and you have to own the responsibility. AI cannot own the responsibility. So human in the loop will always remain. Your importance as a user will always remain. The AI can act as an assistant to you in your work. So that was all from my side. Any questions and discussions? Because I am a CA and a taxation domain expert, but ethics and responsible use of AI is same across all domains. What we have to do is we have to see in our domain how we can ensure that. So any questions or any queries are welcome. These are my detail. You can connect with me anytime. Yes, any queries? Welcome, Bhumika. And I must say that this is something we don't care about. Means everywhere there is AI, and we all use AI, but we don't know, we have never thought of this aspect. We don't know how to use this responsibility. I remember one quote from our childhood when we used to hear it about the science. For science, we used to hear that it is whether it is a boon or curse. विज्ञान वरदान है या अभिशाप है. We used to hear about that. And this is both. It depends upon our use, how we use it. So the question comes up again now, whether AI is a boon or curse. Again, it is left to us how we use it and how responsibility when we how responsibility we use it. What is the one change in higher education that AI will bring, which educators should start preparing for today? So, in my opinion, higher education will extensively use AI. There is no doubt about that. Educators should, as I said, educators should change their way of designing the assessments. The assessment must be like that, that is not just outcome based. That should be process driven. Means you have to ask your students how you have come to this conclusion, or how have you derived this output, what steps were involved, what was the process. Because I think AI can give that also to the students, but they will have to go through the details, and it will verify whether they are having the knowledge or not. And after that, you can twist the questions and ask in the Viva or in a face-to-face questions, the process and the concept which we have to ensure. And as an I must show you the use case. And if we have time, let me show you the use case. I was talking earlier. So this is uh, Claude AI. My screen is visible. My screen is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. So in education, how can you use it? I have just an. So there is a Claude projects facility. I'll not go in the details how to set up this project. I'll show you one use case. So my son was in fourth standard last year, and I had to design some assessment for him. As I don't know the details about his course curriculum, and I can't teach him because this is entirely different domain. So what I did is I took the chapters which were available online. Let me tell you that the data was such that that is publicly available on CBSE website. I took the relevant chapters, I fed it into the project, created a project. Now what AI will do is AI will refer this data to generate the output I want. Now see what I did. I show you the prompts. So I first asked it, can you see chapter 3 in knowledge base and name it here? So chapter 3 is in your knowledge base is titled two ways. Name of the chapter is, so I asked it to design an assessment. See. Title clearly. Let me create 20 MCQ test based on this chapter content. Done. I have created a 20 questions MCQ test. So this test was designed by it. You can see. So it correlated the concepts within the chapter, it designed the questions. But again, I should not 100% rely on the questions designed by it. I may read out. In AI, it is a general concept that AI should be used in particular domain by the person who is the domain expert or who has the knowledge of that domain. So it has designed 20 questions. And the best part was I can set the level of the questions. And I asked it to give the answers also along with the explanations so that I can check because I didn't have details about the answers. So I asked it to design the answers also as well as the explanations. And my son was surprised how within seconds I designed the test for him. Now I can design, I can uh, draft as many chapters, as many tests, MCQs, detailed questions, and I can set the uh, level of difficulty also. How we do it is, see, I just show you how we use AI. So I said AI that you are an expert NCERT exam question creator specializing in syllabus books of Central Board of School Education. You are provided with syllabus book chapters of mathematics subject of class 4. Your task is to generate challenging multiple choice question based only on the chapter files uploaded in your knowledge base. For each question, you must provide 4 options containing one right answer and 3 plausible distractors that represent common student misconceptions. देखिए यहाँ मैंने I have made it somewhat hard. Means you must provide 4 options containing one right answer and 3 plausible distractors that represent common student misconception. Finally, indicate the correct answer and provide a brief. Questions complexity requirement. So you can see I have designed all the instructions for it. Now what it will do is it will keep these instructions in mind while designing the Q&A, while designing the test. So, and how the project is created, let me show you that also. Projects, you have to have Claude subscription, and let me tell you that in our CA's workflow, Claude is the best AI which we can use. In education, Claude, I have used Claude, and that is pretty good. So you have to create that new project. You can name that project. What are you trying to achieve? Then create project. After creating the project, you will land here. This is for my daughter's assessment. Again, I uploaded the chapters and then I drafted one MCQ. I made 2 separate projects for both of them. Similarly, instructions were there. And now the beauty of this AI is it drafts MCQs or detailed questions with requiring detailed answers and with the different level of complexity, different level of difficulty. You can just specify it and it can draft the questions accordingly. Okay. Sir, in research sector, we have seen that AI's response are not always correct. So what kind of different sources we should use to do a so as a researcher, I think you must be having knowledge about the trusted sources. If I discuss about, for example, CBSC, if we go to the universities' official websites and UGC, so you have to have knowledge about the trusted sources and you ask AI to navigate to those trusted sources only. I show you one research tool also in Claude itself. Let me show you. So here is a option of research. I think everyone can see it. Research. When I click this, so now it has opened the research mode, and whenever I give any prompt to it, it will go through the entire web, find out the relevant information wherever available, and then present it to you. It's a very beautiful feature because I have realized many times that earlier on any topic, when it was very difficult to gather the relevant material, and it took days, even months to collect the relevant material and then prepare a research. Now it has become easy, but again, we have to use it responsibly. We have to audit the output. We can ask it to present its research outcome with the link of the sources from where it has gathered the information. So now you can say you can you can treat it as your assistant who does the heavy lifting, who navigates through the web portals, trusted sources, and brings you the relevant material. Now you have to go through the material, read all the content, and then decide and then refine that uh, based on your requirements. Now in research mode, whenever I will put any prompt here, it will research thoroughly and come with the relevant answers. Research. So we can say that AI's response are not always correct. You are right, but we can use it as a well-informed and very efficient assistant, which eases out our work to a great extent. Hope I am able to answer your question, Shreya. I would recommend you all that you all use artificial intelligence for research work and for your education. Two of the use cases I showed you, one for my prepared for my home, for my children, because I am extensive user of AI. So it is very easy for me to use all these tools for uh, whatever purpose I want. It has made the life very easy, I must say. AI is not AI, it is a magic. Sometimes it gives hallucinated answers or incorrect answers, but as a domain expert, we are easily able to catch that. Yes, any more questions? So I think this is all from my side. I would request the organizers to thank you all for patient hearing. Thank you so much. It was a nice session.
Thank you so much, sir. If any participant has any questions, they can write in the chat box or they can raise their hands.
Thank you, Akanksha. Yachika, thank you so much for your patient hearing.
Thank you so much, sir, for your impactful and beneficial session. Your valuable and practical perspective have truly enhanced our understanding, and we are sincerely grateful for your time and expertise. With that, we conclude the first session of our faculty development program. Thank you so much, sir.
You're
We are
welcome.
very
Thank
happy
you.
to have you with us.